It has been said that people are deeply motivated by only one of two things: the desire to gain pleasure and the need to avoid pain. I think there's truth to that. The question is, how are you able to avoid pain to a great degree in your life and seek that pleasure that we all want, the joy of life, if you will, the wonder of it all? I believe that we need to embrace our calling, but first we need to seek our calling. But what does that mean? All of us are aware that there's a huge difference between a job, a profession, and a calling. There's no question about that. You put in time, you get a paycheck. That could be work, vocation, a job. You become a professional, if you will, by getting better at what you do, more fluent, more knowledgeable. As iron sharpens iron, you get better when you're around professionals like yourself. But there's a quantum leap between a profession and a calling. For years, I struggled with that. What is a calling? Because I really felt like this is where you'd be able to find your true self, in a sense of this is where I belong. But I struggled with that for many, many years. And then about 2 years ago, I heard a man speak, ask the question in a Q&A, how do you know you're called to do the work you're doing? Well, that was a brilliant question, and I listened attentively. And this is what he said: you know you're called when three things come together. First, you want to do it. You have a passion to do it, an affinity to do it. There's a sense of obligation, a responsibility, obviously, in any calling. There's a lot of work to be done, and some of it is tedious. But overriding that, do you really want to do it? Secondly, he said, you have to have the talent to do it. You have to be able to have the ability to pull it off. And your friends and those that know you best, your family members, will tell you whether you're going to be good at doing this or not. And finally, there is an opportunity. You have to have an opportunity, a venue, a platform to pull it off, to exercise your calling. Now, if you have enthusiasm, like the early rounds of American Idol, a lot of those people are very enthusiastic with one problem: they're no good. They're terrible singers. So if you believe you have the want to, and yet you do not have the ability to do it. In other words, if you believe that you have the gift of singing but nobody has the gift of listening, you're not called. There's a huge difference in what a calling does in a person's life, because here's the theme. What you really believe, in other words, what you act out, that's what you really believe, will always lead to a sense of calling. Belief leads to calling. It's the foundation for it all. But that calling has a chain link that leads to what we all want, and that is a vision for our life. What we should be doing and what we could be doing. Because here's the rub. Without a vision, the ancient text says, the people perish. You lose heart, you faint, and when the going gets tough, you quit. All of us need to see what the future holds for us. It all begins with belief, but the key is right in the middle. Embracing your calling by discovering your calling.